Good morning, everybody. Hello. Welcome to today's webinar with NCC Education and Northumbria University. It has just turned 9 o'clock in the UK. So big warm welcome to everyone joining us from around the world. Please do put into the chat box where you're joining us from today. If you're a centre, if you're one of our students or a prospective student, we'd love to hear from you and where you're joining us from today. Equally, we will have chance for questions at the end of the session. So please use the chat box or the Q&A function to add your questions in there as we go throughout the presentation. In today's session, we're going to look at our briefly introduce NCC, and then I will hand you over to our special guests from Northumbria University, Sophie and Martin, who will talk to you about the institution and all about applying as an international student there. Next slide, please, Helen. So, as we mentioned, quick introduction to NCC. I know a lot of you will be very familiar with us as part of our accredited partner centre network, but NCC was first established in 1966 as an initiative by the British government. We have now been working in the private education and higher education space for over 30 years. And today we have a network of over 260 educational partners across the globe offering our British standard qualifications. We work with various different types of international schools, colleges and universities to provide students with a range of study routes which enable you to acquire a British diploma or degree. We are a global provider of that education and we offer both traditional face-to-face classroom and distance learning. So what we offer, you can study both locally and study abroad. I think in today's session, we are mainly focused on that studying abroad, coming to the UK to study at Northumbria University. But NCC does offer a range of qualifications to remain in country and follow the full degree pathway with our local partner centres, and also to complete an NCC qualification and take that and progress to a number of university degree programmes in the UK, the US, Australia, Canada, Malaysia, just to name a few. And these provide direct entry progression routes to year 1, year 2 and year 3 of those undergraduate degree programmes. So I will now hand over to Helen to talk you through the University Progression Routes brochure.
Hi, and a very warm welcome to everyone who's joined us today. So some of you might be familiar with our University Progression Routes brochure. The 2026-2027 edition 1 was released last month. So it has lots of progression routes in there, articulation routes for wherever you are looking to study worldwide, using your NCC education diploma to come and study abroad on campus. And it's available on our website on our university progression page. Now, within the brochure, you will find an interactive content section, interactive in the sense that you can look at the diploma that you've been studying, you'll find a section on it, you will find lots of different universities, for example, Northumbria University. You would click on that university name and it will take you to that specific section in the brochure. So we have Northumbria University listed in our brochure, and actually they have very recently recognised even more of our diplomas. So they now recognise not only the International Foundation Diploma and various diplomas in business at level 4 and level 5, but they also now recognise level 4 and level 5 in computing and international pre-masters. So those listings aren't yet in the edition 1 of the brochure, but will be going into edition 2. And those routes are something that Martin and Sophie will be discussing in their presentation. And so For example, if you clicked on Northumbria University at Newcastle, it would come up with a listing. There's actually multiple pages because there are so many opportunities to study there for our students. And we actually have a lovely student testimonial in the brochure of a student who studied computer science at Northumbria. So definitely go and check that out after this presentation. So without further ado, I am going to hand over to Sophie and Martin from Northumbria University.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Helen and Rebecca, and thank you for having us. And thank you everybody who's joining us in the audience as well. It's lovely to have you here with us. So my name is Sophie, and I'm here from the Northumbria University International Recruitment Team. And my colleague Martin is here as well. Martin, do you want to say a quick hello?
Sure. Thank you, Sophie. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. As Sophie said, my name is Martin Matienga, and I'm one of the international recruitment officers at Northumbria University.
Great. Yeah. So we're going to just take you through some of the essentials of what to know about Northumbria and all the different things that we offer and what your opportunities are potentially for studying with us. Just a quick note to say that everything we talk about today is accurate as of today, but obviously things go out of date quite quickly. Course offerings may change, as Helen already pointed out, things that were on the brochure, we've already added new programs to it and things like that. So just always make sure to go on our website, and that's where we've got all the latest information, and it's usually up to date on there. So just make sure that you're looking at the most up-to-date information. But just to kind of take you through the essentials of what we're covering today, so we'll introduce you to the university, the different programs that we offer as a whole. And we'll specifically focus on our computer science and business schools, because those are the programs that we've got pathway opportunities with NCC. So they might be mostly of interest to everybody in the audience today. We'll take you through the city of Newcastle, where we're based, and what student life looks like when you're studying with us, all the different support that we offer at the university, things like accommodation, and then of course the big question around money, so the fees, scholarships, cost of living, things like that. Then we'll touch upon some entry criteria as well, and share some useful contacts with you, and have a little bit of time at the end for questions and answers. So it's a lot of information coming your way, so please bear with us. And if you've got any questions, do always shout out, and we'll make sure to cover them at the end. So, first of all, a quick introduction to where we are in the UK. So if you've not heard of Newcastle before, it's in the northeast of England, so you can just see it there on the map. Martin, I've just realized you were supposed to do the introduction, so apologies, everybody. I'll hand you over to Martin, and I will pipe down for now.
Thanks, Sophie. So yes, just a quick introduction to Northumbria University. So as Sophie was saying, we are based in the city of Newcastle in the northeast of England. To give you a better idea of our location, we're about 3 hours by train directly from Newcastle to London. Our flight to Belfast, 2-hour train to Edinburgh in Scotland. So in a really good location in the UK. We're a top 40 UK university and top 500 the QS World University Rankings. We are also the largest university in the Northeast with over 35,000 students, and over 10,500 students are international students from over 140 countries, also in a different range of subjects, either on campus, online, or distance learning. In terms of our campuses as well, we do have 2 campuses in the heart of the Newcastle city centre, and Newcastle as well is ranked as one of the top 5 best and most affordable student cities in the UK as well, so quite important to remember. The other campus that we have is based in London and mainly has business and computing programs at undergraduate level, but also a few at master's level as well. In terms of partnerships, we do have quite a few strong partnerships across 10 different countries, so also quite important just to note that as well. Perfect. It just gives you a bit more information about Northumbria. So in the way that we teach, so we try to focus a lot on experiential learning. So all of our programs have a lot of practical elements embedded within their programs, or within their courses as well. We are a modern university, so we became a university in 1992, and we were Modern University of the Year in 2025. So we are a really modern university, got a really lovely campus in the city of Newcastle. In terms of career prospect as well, we are 13th in the UK in terms of career prospects. So again, just aligning back to the way we teach and our focus on practical learning and experiential learning. As I mentioned before as well, Newcastle is one of the best student cities to be a student in. Other things that we have in Northumbria as well, we are top 10 for graduate business startups as well. So again, focusing on life after graduation, a lot of practical elements and experiential learning. We do also have a lot of support, and we have a 24/7-hour ask for help support for all students that need any support, whether it's financial support or financial questions, anything related to their courses, or just anything related to being a student in Newcastle. If you need any support, they're there to help you and assist you. And just last, just to mention as well, we are 16th in the UK for sustainability, so we're focusing on trying to be as sustainable as possible at Northumbria. And in terms of our campuses in the city of Newcastle, so we do have two main campuses, the first one being the city campus, and second one being the Coach Lane campus. Our city campus is our main sort of area for most students. It also where our sports central facility is based. So any students that want to take part in sport on a competitive level or just socially, you have a lot of access to different sports and activities within the sports central facility. We also have the Student Central building as well, which is like a one-stop shop for all student inquiries, and also the location of the university library, which as a student you probably spent a lot of time in. A lot of our facilities are state-of-the-art. So again, just to mention that we are quite a modern university, so all of our teaching spaces and facilities are very modern and well prepped for you to be to get all the facilities and all the information that you need from them. In terms of our Coach Lane campus, so this is where we mainly have our health-related programs or clinical related programs. So we have a clinical skills center that's based in our Coach Lane campus, which is there for any students studying anything related to health programs. There's also a free busboard transport system between the city campus and the Coach Lane campus, so students can use that transport link for free. So it's quite accessible from the city campus to the Coach Lane campus as well. And just to get a bit more detail into the student central facilities, so it obviously enables students to have face-to-face support, whether it's for accommodation, applying for jobs, or anything just to do with your student status. You get all the support that you can from the student central team. So it is quite central in the city campus. And again, there's a lot of support, whether it's for course information, disability support, money and finance. You can get all of that support within the student central building. And just going on to the sports central facilities. So as I mentioned, for any students that want to take part in any sports, we do offer quite a wide range of sports from football, volleyball, basketball. We have a lot of sports available at Northumbria. If you play at a competitive level, then you can join one of the teams that compete in the Bucks League, which is basically a league where all universities compete. And at the end, obviously, the top one will be the winner of the league. But you can play competitively or you can play socially if you just want to play with your friends. Socially, there's lots of facilities available within the Sports Central facility. It is also home to our 25-meter swimming pool, a climbing wall, and also state-of-the-art fitness gym as well. In terms of price as a student, it's about £20 per month for the membership. Probably by the time that you're joining, it might be different, so just be aware of this is the price for the 25-26 entry year. And then just a quick mention of our city campus east. So this is home to where the business school, law school, and also the design school as well. So for any students that are interested in these programs, you'd mainly be based within this site on the campus. And then for any students interested in our computer programs, we have the Computer and Information Sciences building, which is a hub for all of our programs within this subject area. So it's home to the Institute of Coding, and also we have 25 universities collaborating across the coding to sort of fill that gap within the global digital economy. So for any students interested in these programs, this is where you'd mainly be based if you're interested in computing or information sciences subjects. And then last, just to mention as well, so quite recent development at Northumbria, we have the creation of the Northeast Space Skills and Technology Centre, also called the NEST facility. So it's a £15 million new home for teaching, learning, and research within the space and skills technology area. And again, it's quite a good introduction to any students interested in aerospace satellite engineering program, which will be a new program starting this September 2026. So this space will be for any students interested within this subject area and will really be a hub for all things space technology related. And I think I'm passing on to Sophie for this section, unless I've got that wrong, Sophie. Yeah.
No, that's right. Yeah, thank you, Martin. And sorry for overstepping my mark at the first point. Thank you, Martin. Yeah, so just a kind of overview of the different faculties that we offer, and then I'll focus specifically on the business school and the computing science school. So we do have three different faculties. We have Faculty of Society and Culture, so that's where we have our design and arts-based programs. We have our humanities and social sciences and the business and the law schools. We have the Faculty of Science and Environment, where we've got things like architecture, engineering, computer science, physics, maths, and then our natural sciences as well. And then we've got the Faculty of Health and Wellbeing, where we've got things like midwifery, nursing, education, psychology, and our sports and physiotherapy programs as well. So as you can see, we've got a really broad range of different subjects that we offer at the university, and they kind of hark from our kind of polytechnic science-based background. So a lot of the programs that we offer are much more, kind of hands-on learning, experiential subjects, and kind of very applicable and very, kind of career-oriented in their approach as well. And specifically focusing or kind of highlighting some of the strengths that we have within our faculties. So things like in society and culture, our law program tends to be really highly ranked year on year. Our business programs are also very well recognized. I think we were in like the top 1% of business schools with double accreditation for our accounting program. So it's a kind of very strong business school as well. Things like our design programs tend to be very highly ranked and kind of well received by students year on year. We've got our science and environment faculty, sorry. Things like our architecture program that tends to be really well ranked, not just as a program, but also for student experience. As we are launching our new space program, things like astronomy, we kind of have a really good recognition for that. Computer science, again, we get really good rankings for a lot of our subjects in there. Health and well-being, things like our nursing and midwifery programs are really well recognized, and they also have incredibly good kind of career prospects. So I think they have something like a 99 or 98% employment rate from those programs because they are so well structured and kind of really geared toward people doing the degree and then going straight into a career in that area. So they tend to be really well recognized for that as well. So it's kind of a lot of different strengths sprinkled across each of our faculties. And I think regardless of what you're looking to study, there tends to be a really strong program in that area within Northumbria. But to kind of highlight our computer science programs, first of all. So on the right, you can see a list of the different undergraduate degrees that we offer at the university at the moment. And then we also do have a one-year top-up degree that kind of takes you straight into the final year of a computer science undergraduate. So that's just the BSc Honors in Computing. So if you were looking to kind of do final year entry, that would be your option. Otherwise, there's a couple of different degrees listed there for our undergraduate side. And there we go. Thank you. We have a lot of kind of career-focused elements built into the computer science program. So that's what we always try to really highlight to students, that obviously computer science is, kind of a lot of time at the computer and learning the kind of theory of that and putting it to practice and kind of learning all the coding and things you would need to be doing within the program. But then there are kind of bigger pieces around it. So things like you have an opportunity to do a consultancy project where you might be working with external clients on business challenges that they are experiencing in a kind of combination of computer science and business. You might have group projects that you might be doing together with other students, which obviously isn't just about the project itself, but about being able to demonstrate that you're working as part of a team and you're able to collaborate with other people, because that's a really useful transferable skill for the future as well. Using kind of industry standard tools, of course, naturally depending on what you're studying, and then the opportunity to do placements and get some UK work experience as well during the degree. That's a really valuable opportunity for students, to kind of really get a taste for what that job would look like in the future and add some skills to your CV as well. And we also have different clinics and hackathons and kind of societies and things like that as well that you can get involved in to really just add that extra experience to your degree. And as I say, kind of add more bits to your CV and show that you've got more demonstrable skills. And then our business school, as you can see, the list on the right there is a lot longer than the computer science list was. So we've got a whole host of different undergraduate degrees and then the top-up degrees. So the kind of list on the left is the undergraduate degrees that are full degrees, and then the title unfortunately has dropped a line, but basically the list on the right with the global business management at the bottom, that is kind of the top-up degrees we have, which are again the 1 year kind of final year entry top-up programs as well. So you've got a lot of different subjects if you are looking at business related programs that you could be looking at applying to as well. And the business school is kind of, again, obviously very much focused on your work experience and giving you the opportunity to do some placements and, you know, kind of get involved in different projects and really get some research, some experiential learning as part of your degree. If we can just go, yeah, perfect, thank you. So you've got work experience that can be built into the degrees if you're wanting that. We also have kind of placement coordinators within the business school who are specifically geared towards supporting business students with any kind of career opportunities you want to explore. If you want to do, you know, kind of prep for interviews or anything like that, they are there to help. You always get assigned an academic tutor as well who can support you with anything or any questions you might have around kind of getting more career support and career experience throughout your degree. And if we could go to the next slide, please. Thank you. And then the business clinic, this is something to really highlight in the business school as well. So we have basically a clinic where you can apply to do a kind of work placement for a few months or a year or whatever it is, and you're providing real business advice to real clients in the area. So again, it's a really good opportunity to get that kind of work experience as part of your degree and really get a taste for what that job would look like in the future. And then, of course, as I mentioned, our double accreditation, you know, as business programs go, you want to make sure that if you are applying for a business program, that it is an accredited one, because it just gives you that kind of extra level of recognition globally as well when you graduate, that employers recognize that you've got a good quality education under your belt. And then I think I'm handing back to you, Martin, for a little bit of information about Newcastle.
Amazing, perfect. Thank you, Sophie. So just to cover a bit about the city of Newcastle. So as I mentioned, it's a really good student city. So really student friendly, safe and international city. At Northumbria specifically, we have quite a lot of diversity in terms of our student nationalities, and students come from different countries. In terms of culture within the city, there's lots of things you can get involved in. If you enjoy the theatre or watching performances, art performances, there's lots of different theatres, centres for art that you can go visit or watch shows at. If you enjoy a bit of shopping, which most students do, there's lots of shopping centres. There's a large metro centre, shopping centre, which is quite good for having a lot of products, a lot of shops in different ranges as well. And of course, sport is quite a big thing in Newcastle. So we, for any football fans, we're quite close to Newcastle United football ground in terms of where it is from our campus, about a 20-minute walk from the ground to the campus. And Newcastle, well, just to mention, it is quite a walkable city. There's really good transport links within the city itself. So a really good bus system, really good metro system as well. So very easy to move around the city. In terms of historical places as well, there's lots of history within the Northeast region. So once you're familiar with the UK or with Newcastle specifically, you can discover areas such as Hadrian's Wall or Alnwick Castle, which are all historical places within the Northeast and all easily accessible from Newcastle city. And as well, before I moved to Newcastle, I didn't actually realize there is quite a lot of beautiful beaches along the north coast east. So there is Tynemouth, Long Sands and Whitley Bay, which are all beautiful beaches and about 20 minutes from Newcastle city centre to those places, depending on how you're using the transport. So if you're going by either car or by the metro system, it's all easily accessible. So again, it's a beautiful city with lots of different things and activities that you can get involved in. And just a quick mention on the student life. So once you're a student at Northumbria, it's not all just about your academic, although academics is quite a big focus of why you are at Northumbria, but we also want you to enjoy your time at the university. So there's lots of clubs and societies that you can get involved in. For example, if you're, for example, a business student, as Sophie mentioned, there's a business clinic, and there's other societies related to potential business groups, so you can join these societies. It's not just to completely just focus on the area of business, but it's just a way to socialize, meet other students with like-minded interests such as yourself. There's also socializing opportunities, whether it's at within the student central building, if you're taking part in sports or taking part in other social activities. There's lots of societies you can get involved in. And throughout the year as well, there will be accommodation or events within your accommodation buildings. Lots of cultural events that take place throughout the year at Northumbria University and also in the city of Newcastle. And also there will be specific events for your program that are run by your faculty or by your program leaders. So again, there will be lots of different activities you can take part in, whether it's academic, social, as well. As I mentioned as well, so Newcastle is quite close to some beautiful coastlines within the northeast. Most of them are just 20 minutes away, easily accessible with public transport. Or if you're able to drive or will have a car, you can use that as well. So it's very accessible to access some of the coastlines within the city. As I mentioned, there's lots of history within the northeast, lots of beautiful places as well. If you enjoy hiking or anything nature related, we are quite close to the Lake District and rural areas within Northumberland, which are all beautiful areas, all filled with different nature and different historical elements to them. For example, we have Holy Island, which is easily accessible from Newcastle city centre. Some of these places will become more familiar once you are a student at Northumbria and living in the city of Newcastle. You will become more familiar with these places and you'll find how easy it is to get to most of them. And then in terms of student support, so just to quickly run through this as well. So as I mentioned at the beginning, we do have the Ask for Help student support system, which is available in person on the campus and also via telephone and via email as well. And it's open 24 hours during the term time. So it's there and available for all students to use. As I mentioned, some of the services available are for international student support, welfare and health support, any financial question that you might have about sort of maybe opening a bank account or managing your money, you can get all that type of support from the team here. Any students that have any disabilities or need additional support, again, just let us know before you join the university so we can put things into place for you before you join. And once you're on the campus and a student at Northumbria, you'll have access again to the Ask for Help team if you have any additional requirements that you need while you're a student on campus. And we also appreciate that counseling and mental health support are quite important. So we do have these services available as well through the team. And as well, we have career support, any faith and guidance support, research and appeals. All these systems and support is available through the Ask for Help team. In terms of career guidance, again, we do have a lot of supports. We have a careers team that help you to focus on if you're applying for internship or placement opportunities. Most of our programs are typically 3 years, but you do have the option to have a potentially 4-year program, depending on the course you've applied for. So we have opportunities which are called placement years, which you'll sort of discover more once you're sort of researching and applying for your programs. So these offer you the opportunity to potentially work for a year as part of your course. So it's a good way to get work experience as well, and just to understand a bit more about the program you're applying for and to find out if that's the area that you want to develop a career in. And throughout the year, as I mentioned, we'll have careers fairs and online resources available to all students at Northumbria. There's also specific facility guidance and events throughout the year, depending on your program. And as well, once you've graduated from Northumbria, you still have access to the support for up to, I think, 3 years once you've graduated from Northumbria. And as well, you can get support as well if you're interested in potentially staying within the UK and applying for the post-study work visa. You can get a lot of advice and guidance on how to follow that process and how to apply and what opportunities are available to you as well. And as I mentioned, so for Graduate Futures, which is our team would help you at the university and beyond after you've graduated. So they'll help with all these areas. So on career planning, so help with your CV. If you have any interviews coming up as well, they can support you with that and have mock interviews with you. As part of your interview, if you have any assessments that are part of your interview process, they can again assist you and help you to practice how to take those type of assessments. And they also give you a lot of insight into how employers or what employers are looking for when they're hiring students or hiring for permanent positions after you've graduated. You get a lot of one-to-one support as well with the team, which is always kept confidential, and to help you to focus on your career plans and help you to have a successful outcome with your application. We also have support available online, so whether you're applying for part-time jobs, volunteering opportunities, graduate jobs, internships, a lot of support is available online as well. A lot of resources are made available by the team to support you online. As I mentioned as well, throughout the year, we'll have employer events, whether they are careers fairs or placement fairs. There'll be lots of opportunities on campus to attend different fairs and speak to companies in person as well, which is always a good opportunity to actually speak to your employers directly in person before maybe applying for a job with them. And then also the student and graduate enterprise support, which will help any students that have sort of an entrepreneurial mindset and want to start their own business or have a focus on just creating things themselves. You get a lot of support through that team if you have an interest in that. So especially advisors available. There's lots of events again that take place. We also have specific female founders programs available that you can join and take part in as well. And as I mentioned as well, the graduate support is available, so actually for up to 5 years after you've graduated from Northumbria. And then just covering the accommodation as well. So as we've mentioned throughout the presentation, we are based within the city of Newcastle. So we're a city campus-based university, but we do also have accommodation within 15 minutes to 20 minutes walking distance of the university. You can get an idea of our accommodation here. So in terms of the prices, so it'll range from £104 to £218 per week. Again, just to bear in mind, this is the prices for the 25-26 entry year. We do have a range of options available, from ensuite accommodation to also shared accommodation facility as well. As I mentioned, they're all within walking distance. To apply for accommodation, it's all done once you've received your offer to apply to study at Northumbria. In terms of the pricing as well, all of the bills are included within the price mentioned. So within that £104 to £218, that does include all of your bills. So your internet, water bill, electricity is all included in the price quoted on the website. And just to mention, all of our rooms are fully furnished. But students will need to bring your own bedding, towels, and kitchenware. But again, all this information is available on our website if you want to see exactly what you need to bring, or if you're not sure of what you need to bring as a student before you join Northumbria. All of our accommodation as well, there isn't any catering available, so it is all self-catered. So you will need to learn how to cook or become familiar with Uber Eats or how to order online if you're not sure how to cook. And as well, just to mention, Wi-Fi is included with all of the accommodation. So you don't need to pay that as an extra cost. It's already included within the price quoted. And then other support is available in terms of accommodation, in terms of security, on-site maintenance support. Content insurance is included, so your laptop and stuff will be insured within the accommodation. And then as well, once you've applied and already applied for accommodation, typically you'll be asked to pay a deposit and then a first installment. But again, all these details will be shared once you're within that process of applying for accommodation.
I think, Martin, we might need to skip. I've got on the screen the fees and cost of living slide. We might need to skip now to scholarships and then the entry requirements for the NCC students. Is that okay?
Yeah, no problem at all. I think I'll pass on to Sophie for that section.
Yes, yeah, that's fine. We'll whiz through the last bits here. So yeah, tuition fees wise, we're around kind of £20,000 to £22,000 a year at the moment. It can change year on year, so just check on the website. We are top 10 most affordable city in the UK, and rent is 63% lower than London. So just highlighting that it is more affordable the further north you go, and Newcastle is an affordable city. We also have some scholarships available to students. So again, look on our web pages for all the details about kind of who's eligible for what and everything, just to check if you are eligible for something. Some of them are automatically awarded, others are competitive for things like sports scholarships, but our website is the best place to find information on that. And then finally, for entry criteria, we have different entry criteria depending on what NCC program you're looking at studying or you're currently studying on. So for things like if you're looking at year 2 entry or top-up entry, we look at least a minimum 40% pass from your program. For postgraduate entry, 60% merit and a full UK bachelor's degree at a recognized university. But all these things we kind of look at on a case-by-case basis anyway. So if you do want to apply, I would say submit the application. It's easy to do directly on our website, and there's no cost involved in the direct application. So you can just pop an application in and we can see whether you are eligible to apply. There are some extra requirements for things like creative degrees need a portfolio. There might be interviews for our health-based subjects, or there might be some subject-specific requirements for kind of more specific focused degrees as well. So have a look on our website if you're not sure. You can always contact us as well. So we should have our contact details on the final slide, which we can put up, and then we'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have as well. So thank you, and over to you, Helen or Rebecca, for if there's any questions. If there's time for questions, apologies, we've run a little over our allotted time here.
Thank you so much for that really, really interesting and detailed presentation, Martin and Sophie. It was such a pleasure to have you speak to our centres and students today. Just a reminder, if anyone wants to stay on the call for a few minutes, drop a question in the Q&A or in the chat and we can read it out. Please do that straight away if you've got any questions. Yeah, I can see that people have been saying they've been joining us from Ghana, Ivory Coast, Azerbaijan, Malawi, Egypt, UAE. So truly global. Our centres are all around the world. And I'm looking to see if there are any questions. Are you able to see any questions, Rebecca?
No, I can't see any questions. I think for one, it was a very comprehensive webinar.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I think you've covered a lot of information. Thank you so much to both of you. I think the best course of action now is if we share the slides, our usual process, we will upload this webinar as well to our YouTube channel and share with attendees. And also then obviously we can share with anyone who wasn't able to attend live today. And we can share the slides so that people can go through in more detail and at their own pace. And then if there are any follow-up questions, I would ask our centres to get in touch with your business development manager or customer success manager, and we can also then pass any queries on to both Sophie and Martin in the international recruitment team.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having us, and enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are in the world.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having us. Thank you for joining today.
Thank you, Sophie. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We hope to see you again very soon at our next session.